For me, everything's going great. I just told the team that I couldn't be more proud of their effort. These are long, hard practices. We're up around 100 plays in the team session after practice, per practice. So these are really good, long, hard, physical practices based on all the new entry guys we have. We have enough reps to get the ones and twos and the young guys, which would be the threes, a lot of quality work. So I'm really excited about the work we're getting in and the competitive nature that we have at practice.
I know you're not going to say anything in particular about injuries, but are you staying, considering how physical and how hard you're getting?
Yeah. Knock on wood, we've been very fortunate. We've had a couple guys here and there get banged up that have missed a practice or two, but for the most part, most of our players are still out there and still competing.
Do you have one side of the ball or the other that's kind of the heavy so far this spring, or has it been pretty balanced?
Defense is starting to win over the last 3 or 4 practices, which in most springs that will happen. But they're playing very well, and both sides are competing. But as you move toward the latter part of spring, which, believe it or not, that's where we're at, your defense should start to win and have more success based on they're seeing some of the same stuff every day. But I like what we're doing in all 3 phases. We're getting quality work, but defense is having good days.
Being able to be more back on a traditional weightlifting regimen, how much of that helps with the injuries?
Well, there's not any doubt that COVID really set, I can only speak for Oklahoma State, set us back with just the routine training, cardio training, strength conditioning, routine. And we're back in routine since January. So we're considerably different now. Josh Seals and Tay Martin and Turco and Tyler Lacy. These guys are in really good physical condition now compared to when we got in August last year. There wasn't very many guys in shape. So it was really scary as a coach. You don't know when to push them. I didn't know when to push them and when to back off. Now it's easy. I know when to push them. They're all in great shape.
You're able to get, down at Rob Glass and get their hands on them.
Yeah, we're able to get this many reps because they're in really good condition right now.
You talked at the start of spring practice of so many guys coming in early from this recruiting class. Now that you've had a few weeks of them, what type of development have you seen from those guys so far?
I just sat next to Coach Gibbs and was watching practice, and I shared with him that this is the first spring practice where we're able to have the threes execute and look like a traditional 2 group, because they're in practice 10 and they've been getting 40 or 50 team reps, 40 team reps each practice. Normally in spring practice, they don't get any team reps because we don't have the numbers. So we're seeing considerable improvement. They might not know it because they're messing up so much. Their heads are spinning, but they're getting better because they're seeing things, they're getting coached on film, and they're making some corrections the next practice.
Well, with those numbers, I know you're still a week and a half away, but have you got a feel for what setup you're going to have for the spring practice?
I think we'll be able to divide and have a decent game. And our goal is to provide to provide good entertainment for the fans. Let them see the players, see some of the new guys, see the names they're familiar with, provide them with a real football game. 4 quarters at 15 minutes could be hard, but maybe we play a full half, 15 and 15. That's an hour of real competitive football with the clock not continuously running. I'll be honest with you, the clock's running all the time, messes me up. So we're going to have a good show. We're going to try to put together an hour and 30 or an hour 45 minutes of really quality football so the fans can enjoy it and then they can go watch baseball.
Have there been any positions that have surprised you with not just the depth but the actual performance level of the 3rd, 4th, 5th guys in a group?
I'll be honest with you. The offensive linemen, we have some young guys, some high school kids that came in early and young guys that have never really played. For them to function like they are in our offense, really, all of them, is impressive to me. It's extremely difficult. Our young quarterbacks are getting more work than ever, and they're functioning not easy. Okay, defensively, our young corners that need to progress, as you know, so we have quality backups this next year. We can get them some reps. They're functioning pretty well. Our young linebackers functioning pretty well.
One guy I'm kind of hearing about that I don't know what his problem was, whether he was hurt or just coming out of JC, he had that transition, but guys tell me Lamont Bishop is showing up.
Well, Lamont was hurt last year. Came in and through the COVID was out of shape. Set him back. Then he got hurt. Set him back. He's healthy now. He's in good condition. I wouldn't say he's in great condition yet, but he will be. But he's in really good condition now. It's allowing him to play faster and not think. So you're seeing him use his ability. He ran 4.58, 4.62 or something at 235 pounds. So we have to find a way to get him on the field. We don't have a lot of guys that can run that fast, that weigh that much. That at this point I don't think he's scared of football. So we've got to get him out there. It seems to be doing pretty good at this time.
What kind of development have you seen from Spencer Sanders?
Spencer's having a really good spring. His best spring, he's going in year 4 now. So his best spring, which he didn't get a spring a year ago, and he's progressing, seeing things that we want them to see at that position, like Taylor did and like Mason did. He's starting to see those things. So the spring he missed last year, and I never really thought of that till you just asked me that question. We should have seen it last year, but we didn't have spring. But we're starting to see it now. He's having a good spring practice.
Coach, what can you say about Tyler Lacy and just the impact he's having on the line this season?
He's doing really good. Another guy that's back in shape now, and Tyler's mature, he's veteran, been around. If he decides to push himself, work extremely hard and compete and fight, he's going to get a chance to make a little money playing this game someday with the skill set that he has at this time, in my opinion.
Mike, you guys took advantage of the transfer portal this offseason. Is that something that you still feel is positive for college football? And do you think it's something that in a couple of years could be out of control and become negative where too many guys are entering and not enough spots?
Well, the portal falls into religion and politics conversations. You don't want to have that at the family gathering. But I will say this. There's about 2 weeks ago or a week ago, there was 1,182 of them on there that have not landed anywhere. So if I had a son that was looking into it, I would express some caution unless they felt like they had a good place to land. But do I think that young men deserve a chance to make a change, that they want to go somewhere where they think they can play? Yes, if it's for the right reasons. Like anything we do in life, all of us, it'll make a difference what it is. If we make a quality decision for the right reasons, I think it's a good resource. If you get in a hurry and jump to something and you don't really know where your landing spot is to a certain extent, it could be an issue. There's just not enough spots. Like the old the game they play at carnivals where they turn the music off and you jump in a chair. There's not that many chairs left. So you just got to be a little careful.
Going back to Spencer, I know there was a point where you said that with some of the games that he had missed, he just didn't have enough game time. Spencer, do you feel like he's at a point where he has enough games under his belt?
He's played enough games, and he's made an improvement that, Scott asked. I'm seeing things now that I didn't see from him last year. So now he just needs to continue to do it. We need to keep things simple, let him play flat, let him play fast, and do what he does, let him roll.
Does his kind of progression, does that help open up other opportunities for players on the offense?
It's like a Rubik's Cube. You're too young. You know what a Rubik's Cube is? So a Rubik's Cube, you can't just do one side. You have to do all of them at once if you're going to do the Rubik's Cube. That's the same thing with playing quarterback in this offense. You have to be able to do everything at once as we progress to make it all function. And that's why guys that have played in this system, once they get into like year 2.5 and 3 and on, they look a lot different because they start to be able to figure out that Rubik's Cube, not just one side. I didn't even know. That's pretty good. I just threw the Rubik's Cube out there. And by the way, I never got the Rubik's Cube done. I did one side only. Now, I took the stickers off, and did it one time and redid it at night I did it to, I didn't tell the truth. I said, look, I did it, you know.
My last question. Casey Dunn, the first day you guys talked, I wasn't even here, but watching it, Casey Dunn said his goal this year was to get the offensive running game back to where it was in 19, where it was more productive, there were more chunk plays in the run game. You've got these running backs. Do you feel you're getting closer to finding a way to really run the ball the way you have when you've loved it?
I'm not. I'm convinced that will happen, and all of this is part of the formula of your quarterback progressing, figuring things out. We have depth at running back. Now we have experience at running back. Knock on wood, last year we had some hard knocks in the offensive line based on injury. Those guys now got a lot of reps when they weren't ready, but that now has helped them, and they're better, and they're going to be better next year. So I'm excited about that, and I don't think there's any question that we'll be able to run the ball effectively, yards per carry, which is 4.5. If we can get 4.5 yards per carry, we're in great shape. I can't just say, can we rush for 200 a game, because they might not give us a chance to rush the ball, you know, and we got to take what they give us. We need to get 4.5 a carry, and we'll be in great shape.
This game is featured baseball or football?
Hunting. He's a much better hunter right now. I don't know. He's coming on a little bit lately, knocking a few over the fence. So I'm gonna go over there and watch him tonight. And should be a good game. Edmond's a good team, so they got a good pitcher.
Who they playing?
They play Memorial. Yeah, they got two guys that can get on the hill and throw it pretty good. So.
Beat by what, 1 or 2 runs last night?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, good baseball game. You guys good? All right, y'all have a good one.
All right.
Spencer, what's been the most important thing that you've been focusing on this spring?
Completions, accuracy, and operating the offense. That is number one. Operating the offense. If we can operate the offense, I feel like nobody can stop us. We're competing against probably the best defense in the Big 12, so getting better every day.
How much more comfortable do you feel right now in doing that and how you're operating the offense?
I feel great. You know, I got a couple MAs here and there, but it's nothing I just don't laugh about, because I know I can fix it. It's not that big of a problem, and I feel like I'm getting pretty comfortable. I feel like I'm adjusting well, and I feel like we can be great this year, and let's see what we can do.
Has this spring felt any different from previous springs for you?
Speaking on my first spring here, I've been through 3 coaches, so I've been through different technique, different footwork. I didn't have a spring ball last year, so I would say it's definitely different from my first one, because my first one was my first spring ball ever and learning the playbook and all that, so it's definitely different. But I would say, as from like fall camp to spring ball, I feel like I'm a lot more comfortable. I feel like the offense is a lot more comfortable. I feel like we're moving good and we're knowing each other, you know.
Last few games of the season, last year you really looked like you started clicking. Is that carried over into this spring, and how you feel about yourself?
I hope so. I mean, that's for other people to decide, but honestly, to me, I just want to keep connecting, keep doing good, keep running the ball well, keep throwing the ball well, and just keep operating. If we can do that, then all the little things will take care of the big things.
Not just the end of last season, but the game in Orlando. I mean, every once in a while I'll see that picture of you after the game accepting the MVP. I don't know that I've ever seen a bigger smile on your face. I mean, it's a happy moment. Do you use that the game against Miami at all for confidence, or is it just a great memory now?
It's a great memory. I would say my confidence is pretty good. I mean, I talk to my mother every day, make sure a smile's on her face, make sure a smile's on my face, and if I can do that, then everything else will take care of itself.
How is Coach Rattay, now that you've got a spring, spring is different than the way you work during the season. What are some of the things he brings to you that makes you a better quarterback?
I would say my feet. I would say, and that is like a huge exclamation mark. Like feet with like everything. It's feet with timing. It's feet with certain routes. It's feet with looking certain places. I feel like I've developed my feet with my eyes, and I feel like he's taught me very well of just progressing very well. And when it's not there, then get out of the pocket. If it is there, then take it. Take your check down. And I feel like my feet have helped me develop. I mean, honestly, I could say reading coverage is better, slowing me down, better paced on a drop. Maybe there's a fast-paced drop on this one. Maybe there's a slow-paced drop on this play. I feel like my feet have really slowed me down and just helped me control the game.
And what's it like with this receiver core? Because, I mean, you get used to guys, and you had some really good guys to work with, but, you know, Tay, you know, didn't play a lot last season, but even the young freshmen probably mix it up with you. You know, just talk about the receiver core and how you're working with them and how that's going.
I feel like we got a great receiver core. I mean, we got Braden Johnson, we've got Tay Martin, we've got Brendan Presley, we've got Rashad Owens, we've got the Green Twins, JP. I feel like the receiver core is great. I feel like now it's just more mental about developing that playbook and getting right, maybe like, and it's not even just with me, with Shane and with all the other quarterbacks. Once we connect on that timing and just how people run certain routes and how they do certain things, I feel like we'll be very good. And I feel like we're actually developing that as we speak right now. I wouldn't say it's at the best it could be, but, you know, you can always get better.
You mentioned the Green Twins. They're one of the fairly large group of guys who came in early. How significant has that been for you and for them to be coming in this spring instead of waiting until the fall to show up?
It's significant for them. I mean, obviously they can learn the playbook. They can get the hang of things, get comfortable, and kind of get in a groove before, you know, everybody else that comes in the summer and stuff like that. And for me, it's great because if they're going to play on Saturdays, then we can have a great connection. We can start that development right now, that chemistry and all that right now. So I feel like it is good to graduate, but I'm not encouraging any high school like to graduate early. I lived out my high school career. It was a hell of a time, and I had fun.
Looking at the running backs you guys have, deep running back room, knowing that you have that, I mean, you've pretty much always had that with Hubbard and so on. How does that help the passing game?
It helps the passing game tremendously because everybody knows you can't stop LD. He's going to find a way. He's going to do something. Like the Baylor game, he spun off, broke 3 tackles. I mean, he's just a hell of a player. Dez, everybody watched at Texas Tech. I mean, running over people, running for 30 yards, 50 yards, running all the way to a touchdown and taking a knee on the 2-yard line. So we got the guys that can do it. I mean, we got Dominic Richards. We ran, like inside zone to the right. He took it to the house, and we're just wanting 6 to 4 yards, maybe first down, and he took it to the house. So I feel like we've got tremendous running backs. I feel like they're great, and I feel like we could really do something. And also we could utilize them in the passing game too. I mean, they're all great players.
What are you seeing from your fellow quarterbacks this spring?
Everybody's developing. Everybody looks great. I feel like Shane is looking great. I feel like Ethan's looking great. PT, we got Gunner. I feel like we're all looking great. I mean, I feel like everything's kind of slowing down for us, and this is kind of like, I don't know, this is kind of like my first spring where everything's been the same as it was last year. So it's kind of like you can carry of what we took from the season here because I had the same coach. So like I can talk about the same things and we can have like the same kind of relationship as we did before. So it's kind of more of like a bonding thing, and like I feel like everybody's gotten more comfortable, and he's taught us a lot and he's taught us very well.
How's it been having Coach's kid right next to you? Is that weird?
No, I mean, you treat him like any other. He's a great kid. Gunner, he's got a great arm, and he's a lefty, so that's also cool to watch. And no, I mean, Gunner's a great kid. I feel like he can spin it real well. He can do something, so we'll see what he's got.
Talking about the uniqueness of these springs for you, obviously this is also the first spring practice that Casey Dunn has been the OC instead of just the wide receivers coach since you guys missed last year. What have you learned from him maybe differently during the spring than you did last fall throughout the season of what he's expecting of you?
He's expecting to be on top of my game, and if I'm not, he's going to get on my tail. So I feel like we've grown a connection of where when there's a problem, we address it immediately. Like we know there's no like I don't have to wait and maybe get chewed later or something like that. I feel like we're real comfortable with each other. We can speak now on all our problems, and I feel like that's a really good connection to have because also, I mean, that is your OC. So at the same time, I want to know what to think on a play, but also what's he thinking? Why is he calling this play? He sees something. So if I can develop his mindset and Coach Rattay's mindset in mine, then I can kind of see what they see because they're definitely a hell of a lot smarter than I am. Oh, that's it. Yep, that's it.
How y'all doing? Tyler Lacy. Yeah.
Coach, said that you were, like a lot of guys, maybe a little bit out of shape at the start of last season because you didn't have traditional spring and summer. Do you feel like you're in better shape now, and how is that helping you on the field?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in better shape. I mean, especially coming in, doing workouts with Coach Glass and getting in with the guys and just running around. I feel like I'm in a better shape because COVID was holding us back from doing like a lot of running and stuff because we didn't know how to. COVID affected the guys, so right now we're just getting back in the hang of things and going full speed.
How is that showing up for you on the field?
It's showing up for me good on the field. I mean, I feel like I'm doing better in my pass rush moves, and you can see the whole team just moving around the field like better than before we did when we came back after COVID.
How excited are you to have a spring game since you missed one last year?
I'm excited to have a spring game, get back out here with the guys, put in some more reps on the field, see the younger guys stepping up, see who's going to be able to, play this year and everything. It's an exciting time to be in the spring.
Gundy and the other coaches talk a lot about younger guys on the defensive line. How have you seen that kind of chemistry come together across the 10 practices? How do you think they're doing mixed with guys like you being?
I feel like they're trusting the process more. I feel like they're actually taking coaching more, and when they're getting those reps in the practice, they actually see what the coach is talking about, and everybody's coming in the film room, getting the knowledge they need to come out here and play.
Coach Gundy talked about the conditioning, and I remember seeing you in high school or when you first got here. Did you ever think that you would be this big and still maintain your athletic ability to do the kind of things you want on the field?
Oh, not at all. Because when I first came in, I was just young and just running around. Now I'm actually getting in the weight room, pumping some iron, and running around, have this weight on me, and it feels good. It feels good to have the balance of the strength in the past.
And Coach Gundy said, too, if you keep progressing, kind of have the year that, I think he thinks, and maybe Joe Bob and Greg think you can have, that said you can make some money playing this game.
Well, that's the goal. That's the mindset right now. But right now, just getting in with the guys and having fun.
How closely are you watching the draft process for some guys, especially Cam Murray?
Oh, I'm watching the draft. I hope the guys the best of luck. All of them, all the people that came out here for Pro Day, all across the nation. I wish everybody the best of luck in the process.
But are you eyeballing it for kind of scouting? Hey, this could be me in another.
Oh yeah. When we were doing our workouts, I was looking at the base numbers of the people. They had the draft board up there. I was doing the base numbers, matching my numbers to people, and just trying to prepare for the future.
Last thing for me, not just the young defensive linemen, but having Malcolm back and Devin Harper, seeing some of the younger linebackers come on, that safety group is all returning starters. How good can this defense be, and how much fun is that to think about?
Oh, with some of the veteran guys coming back, and then you got some of these younger guys coming in, it's just like taking a puzzle piece out and putting another puzzle piece in, and it's just everybody's flying around and playing together, and you could just trust one another, and it doesn't even seem like a veteran is off the field when you see a freshman running in and making the play.
Coach Knowles said at the beginning of spring that with several of those veterans being sidelined due to injury or whatever, that it allowed those freshmen and maybe richer freshmen to come in and just practice free, not with pressure. And how have you seen them maintaining that ability of going out there and just kind of playing and not having to focus on the big picture?
Well, I feel like actually that's better, just going out there and playing, because you gonna make a mistake, but it's just if you go out there 100%, give it your all. You can't say anything if he's making a play in the backfield. That's what I feel, but I feel like the guys are coming in together strong.
Has there been anybody in this freshman class that came in early that stood out to you so far?
Colin Oliver. Colin Oliver has been doing an awesome job for us, especially on his pass rush moves. I forgot his name. I forgot his name, but yeah.
Does Colin remind you of another Santa Fe kid coming in with Bondage?
Yeah, he sure do. He does remind me of Bondage. He really does. The relentless pass rush, trying to get to the quarterback. He's been making plays out there on the field constantly, so we're loving it.
What's it like going against the offense? They keep talking about the offensive line is really deep. legit playmakers and all the quarterbacks are progressing. What have you seen from up close on the line from their progression and how they're doing against guys like you?
I feel like the offensive line has a better communication this year. You could see them pointing out, doing all the directions and stuff. And I feel like with the COVID and not having the COVID, I feel like we're in better shape. So everybody's just running around. The quarterback's throwing the ball, slinging the ball, receivers running downfield. Yeah, they're moving fast this year. You have a great day.